because he's saying, in his latest Instagram post, he said that he's gonna be all right. And he identifies himself as a girl, and
Jesus Christ is the King.
What's good, internet? It's Capital J Productions. I'm back with another video. Let's get right into it. This might be a long one, but we're talking about Lil Nas X today, okay? And we're talking about we're going to talk about the disrespect of God. We're going to talk about this incident that just happened first with him and 3 cops, right? So he assaulted and injured 3.
Nah. Hey, don't be late to the party tonight.
Where at?
You know where it's at. Nah, go ahead, babe. Nah. Go ahead, babe. Nah. Didn't I tell you to put the phone down? Uh-oh, somebody's gonna have to pay for that. Hey, for everybody coming to the party. Yes, I am serving you. I am serving you. And you better be at that party tonight. Oh, yes. 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 Yes, get my good side. Every side. Yes. Boom, cat towel. Nah. Hey, don't be late to the party tonight.
Where at?
You know where it's at. Nah, go ahead, babe. Nah. Go ahead, babe. Nah. Didn't I tell you to put the phone down?
A minute, but he was just walking around LA naked, and I'm gonna be showing some videos and some inserting some clips in this one that's gonna just show you guys, everybody who knows about him, y'all kind of know about Lil Nas X and how wild he is, how sold out he is for the devil, okay? But I'm going to put these videos here for reminders, because there's some people that need to be reminded on how much disrespect to God that this guy has done, right? And that plays a part to him, to this story. It plays a part to this story. A lot of people don't know that, but, so anyway, what I want to talk about is, let's talk about this incident, because the cops got a call from someone, right? Because he was walking around naked in the streets, probably doing all kinds of craziness. And so by the time the cops came, he charged at them and he injured these 3 cops, okay? So I mean, you could say he was on drugs. You can say you can come up with a lot of different theories, right? But what I do know is I know this spiritual game, right? I know better than probably anybody else, okay? Because like I said, I have so many experiences. I serve God. There's certain things God showed me that's crazy, but I've talked about that in plenty of videos. You guys can go watch those videos. So what I want to talk about first is the disrespect of God, right? Now, of course, he disrespect these cops. He gets put into jail. He's looking at, he got hit with 4 felonies, right, for attacking these police officers. And they're saying he can do some years in jail, but I'm gonna tell y'all what I think. I'm gonna tell y'all what I believe is gonna happen, right? And I know why, right? So let's just get into that right now, right? I believe he's gonna get off. He already got a $75,000 bail, so he's already out on this, and he shouldn't have got bailed. I mean, the average black man cannot attack 3 police officers, injure them, and then just get out of jail, right? Be able to bail. How did he get bail? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the court system. We'll talk about, the favoritism of the court system and how, these guys do it, how they do it. All right. So because if it was any other just regular old black man, there's no way he would have got out of jail. There's no way. But because he's Lil Nas X, of course he's gonna get some favoritism, right, from the system. So, so now that you guys know a little bit about that, I want to talk about the disrespect of God, because nobody talks about it, right? This guy has been disrespecting Christ, disrespecting God constantly, basically. And I'm going to be inserting a lot of clips throughout this video to show you guys. And this guy been playing with God for a long time. He's all sold out for Satan. And that's the reason. That's one reason why. That's the main reason why he's getting favoritism with the courts. So because the courts will never admit it, but they are ran by themselves. They don't use God. They're not being led by God. The court system is not being led by God, and I have proof of that. So like I said, if you haven't worked in the court system before, if you don't have no inside knowledge of this stuff, then you're not gonna understand it. You're gonna think I'm just pulling stuff, out of my behind, but I'm really not. So there's not much to say about the disrespect of God. I mean, I'll let the clips speak for themselves. But he's definitely been doing it. He's been doing it throughout his music videos. He's been, I mean, can nobody force you to do this stuff? People can ask, and and if you decide to do it, then it's on you, right? Okay, so, but another thing I want to talk about is the courts allow the disrespect, right? They allow the disrespect of God, because if you have this guy, right? The courts can look up the file. They can look at his videos. They can look at his Instagram. They can look at, everything that he's done, and see this guy just does not care about God. And if the law is supposed to be God's law, right? And y'all know this guy has been disrespecting. He's been super disrespectful of God's law, right? And now he's disrespecting law officers, right? He fought them. And now how did they find, so the question is, how did they find a judge that was dumb enough to look past all of that, right? Look past the fact that he assaulted 3 different officers, right? And I'm quite sure there's footage there. There's, they wear the chest cameras, the body cameras, they wear those. So I'm quite sure they probably had to turn those in. Like, how is that overlooked in the courts? How do they overlook that, right? Like, how do they say, okay, well, he's already disrespected God so many times in his music videos. He does it on his Instagram. He does all these skits and stuff that he does, right? You overlook that, okay. Now he goes and he assault 3 officers, okay. Y'all overlook that and still give him bail. So how does a person like this get bail? And it's because the courts, the courts are failing at their job, and the courts really believe they are the gods at this point. And there's no need to go to God, or, they can just make the choice to do this themselves. But this judge who allowed him to be released he should not have a job no more. He shouldn't be a judge anymore. Because if someone can go and do all of this, right, be so disrespectful, and, to not only to God, but to these cops, right, and do all of these things and still get out of prison, what's the point of us having laws, right? So that's why I said the courts are, at this point, the courts are more evil than they're doing more hurt to society. Because what is that teaching everybody? Like, there's just teaching, and like Lil Nas X, this is what he should be thinking. about as far as his he has a lot of fans. I don't know how he has a lot of fans, but he does, but what is that teaching your fans? That you could just go out here and you could do these things, and then, oh, okay, when you get caught by the system is just going to let you go. You know what I mean? So, but this is Lil Nas X, probably this is his first time. And because I know he has a contract with the devil, that they're gonna make him feel like he's powerful when he's really not, right? And it's a game. It's a game that the devil plays with these people to make them think that they're powerful. Oh, you could do whatever you want. That's how come he's doing what he's doing, right? Because the devil got him thinking he can do what he want to do, and there's nothing. There's no one can stop him. So yeah. So but the courts, man, the courts disrespect to God, the courts disrespect to their own officers, really. That's very disrespectful to the officers, right? That 3 officers got injured, and the judge still lets them out. I probably wouldn't even be a police officer after that no more, Like, how do you guys just, how do y'all guys even offer him bail? I would want him to suffer in prison, but that's me. So yeah, he shouldn't have been able to post bail. And his bail was $75,000. So, yeah. So, that to me, that's little to no money for. He assaulted three officers. You know what I'm saying? Like, 75,000. Like, that's a slap on the wrist. You know what I mean? Like, it should have been some millions, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm quite sure these cops are upset, and I would be highly upset if I was the cops, I would be really, really upset about this. I'm really upset, but let's move on, right? So, Lil Nas X future, that's what I want to talk about, right? I want to talk about a little bit, because he's saying, in his latest Instagram post, he said that he's gonna be all right. And he identifies himself as a girl, and he says your girl is gonna be all right. But that shows you right there within itself that this dude is all messed up mentally. Satan got this guy, and it's a wrap. I'm just gonna call it what it is. It's a wrap for Lil Nas X. He's done. I still think he's gonna get off on this because he already got, he's still kind of new to the program, and the devil wants to make him seem like he's powerful, that he can do anything he wants. So, and the people that's above him, they're going to allow him to make these little mistakes. But eventually he's going to get cut off, just like how Diddy got cut off, right? He's going to have his day. Diddy, it's a setup. They're setting him up to, I believe, to be a replacement of Diddy. So that's what I believe. Okay, that's just what I believe, right? But he will have his day, He will have his day, and God will be the one who would tell Satan that, okay, you got to cut it off. You got to have to cut him off. And like I said, a lot of y'all don't understand that Satan has to give approval from God to give these guys power. You can learn this in Job. If you read the book of Job, you will understand what I'm saying, all right? So this is not just me coming up with this stuff, okay? Because in Job's story, God told Job that, God told Satan that he can punish Job, but he told Satan that he has to save Job's life. You can actually read about that in Job's story. Okay. And that's been in the Bible forever. Okay. So we do know that Satan has to go to God to get authority to do things on this earth. That's how it is. And God does tell Satan to do certain things. And, he has to have his people do certain things. So yeah, they just lie about everything that they do to us on news and, on the news and just throughout their They lie about everything because that's Satan. That's what he does. Okay, so but he's not gonna be okay. Of course, he's supposed to say that. He's supposed to lie, you know what I mean? But he's clearly not okay, you know what I'm saying? And he's not going to be okay. In the long run, you know, he's just not gonna be okay. So I don't want to spend too much time on this clown, but you know, I want to talk a little bit about I mean, this is kind of disturbing to me, you know. It's like, and this case made me upset, you know what I mean? It's just, I mean, just seeing Lil Nas X in hip hop it makes you don't want to be a fan of hip hop no more. Like, at least for me, it doesn't, you know what I mean? Because it's like, this is what we doing now? Like, is this how we going to represent ourselves? You know, or have we stooped this low? This guy he's like, let me tell y'all about this guy, right? For those who don't know, he is extremely gay, okay? And he has a video of him, you know, basically dancing on the devil, you know, strip dancing on the devil. You know what I'm saying? Like, how is this hip hop? How is this a form of art? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not art. It's just devil worship. That's what it really is. It's just flat out devil worship. And, you know, and if we keep allowing this, you know, the devil he come to do only three things. I went over this plenty of times, and that's kill, steal, and destroy. That's all he does. So, and that's why hip hop is in the state that it's in, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, anytime the devil comes around and he's going to destroy it, okay? That's what he does. So that's why so much destruction in the black community, you know, and don't nobody want to talk about it, don't nobody want to address it. But, you know, that's why I'm here to do that, you know, as much as possible. So you guys are going to be hearing me talk about this stuff over and over and over again. I don't care if YouTube like it. I don't care if the internet don't like it. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do it because God gave me to do this, and I'm doing it. And I'll do it until they block me or, you know, they decide to delete my page. You know what I mean? And I'll do what I have to do. You know what I'm saying? If that means I got to cuss to get somebody's attention, if that means I have to, you know, I have to get loud and I have to get rowdy and I have to get, because I'm not, it's like we're at the point that we're in a horrible state. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to like black people and our representation and just who we really are as people. And they're trying to bring us, you know, further and further away from God. So my messaging, I have to be bold. I have to be, you know, I have to be strategic. I have to be consistent. I have to be on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I have to keep calling this shit out because it's that's what it is. It's boo-boo. You know what I'm saying? It's complete shit. And they trying to serve it to our community, you know what I mean? And it's fucked up, and somebody got to call it. Instead of, you know, black people, we're so accepting. We just accept things, and we got to stop accepting this stuff. And we got to start standing up. Somebody got to do it. Somebody got to talk about it, right? Because, you know, you just hear people gossip. They just tell the story. They just tell the news. They might tell the details, but they're not educating youngsters on this and saying, hey, look, what Lil Nas X is doing is wrong. Is anybody really going to come out and just flat out say that? Like, what he did was wrong, completely wrong. You notice he didn't apologize to nobody. In his videos, he didn't apologize. He didn't apologize to the courts. He didn't apologize to the officers that he hurt. Nothing. He just gets away. Y'all just give him bail. You just pay money and that's it. You let him out. He don't have to apologize to the officers' families. Those guys got families. What about them? You know, they got hurt trying to keep peace. You know, this is why I would be upset if I was the officers, you know. So, I mean, this is all bad. And, you know, don't think this is going to be the last thing that happens because it's going to be way more. And I have my suspicions. I know those demons is tearing his ass up. You know what I mean? Like, and this is why y'all never should sell y'all soul to Satan because you end up doing this type of stuff. And y'all think that Satan is he's going to be punished. He's not going to be punished. That's what he does. This is what he do. He corrupts people's life. He messed them up. And these people, he controls these people. And guess what? He'll have you go out there in the streets naked like Lil Nas X, causing a bunch of confusion, right? And guess who goes to jail? Guess who goes to prison? Lil Nas X goes to prison. Satan don't goes to prison. Demons don't go to prison. Okay? They don't. All right? Their job is just to get inside of you, make it fuck you up, and then you go to prison. You do the time. You the one who's gonna be stuck in there. You the one who's gonna have to pay the price. Okay? And they're gone. They're free. They'll probably leave you alone then. Maybe they'll come in but they get to come and go as they please. Do you get to come and go as you please? No. This is the whole deception in all of this, okay? So yeah, Lil Nas X, he's gonna be able to get out of the jail, right? But thing is, his fans, none of his fans, if any of his fans go and do what he did, they're not going to be able to get out of prison or jail, right? The only reason why he got out is because the devil is using him. The devil he can use to continue to manipulate people and manipulate more people. That's the only reason why he got out of prison. This the part y'all don't see. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't see all of this stuff. Y'all don't see the spiritual side of the game. There is a spiritual warfare going on. It's a reason for everything, okay? They're not just gonna, because if the law is supposed to do what the law is supposed to do, then the law was supposed to keep this guy in prison. He was not supposed to get out, period. And he should be in prison for years for what he did. He didn't just assault regular people. This dude assaulted 3 cops. And I'm quite sure they got the footage on it. They got, because he just happened to knows the right people, right? They could just make a phone call to one judge. Hey, you know what? He's under Satan control, and we have him. That's okay. We want to keep him. We want to keep him free because we want to manipulate some more black people. We want the black population of prisoners to go up by 10% by the end of the year. So we need him. We need a sucker. We need a black sucker like him, so we can put back out there on social media, and so these black people can praise, and they can praise it, and they can uplift it, and they can look up to it and follow it, and our numbers will go up. This is what's happening, people. Okay, they did it with gangster music in the 90s, right? They did it to us, right? And they're continuing to do this over and over again. So I want to know what y'all think about this. If you have any comments, and if the comments are worth me responding to, I will respond to those comments. Otherwise, I won't respond. I hope you know what you're talking about, because if you don't know what you're talking about, chances are, I'll probably block you, or I just won't respond to you, I don't want to talk to people who just fans of Lil Nas X. And you mad because I'm making the video because I'm talking about your failed God, okay? Because that's what he is. Because gods don't go to prison, okay? They don't. You can't put God in prison, right? You can't do anything to God, right? So y'all got to understand what the game is. Y'all got to understand what's really going on out here, right? So, and if you want to back him up, then I'll tell you this, right? Well, why don't you take your ass out there in LA? I stay in LA. I know how LA is. I've seen more brothers go to jail than I care to even admit, and get killed. Okay. So, I'm not new to this. Okay. I'm not somebody who's just talking out of his ass. I know what I'm talking about. So Lil Nas X, he's going to get away with a little bit, but he will have his, when God decides to cut him off, he will be cut off, and, but yeah, to y'all fans, if y'all going to defend him, this is what, if you're going to defend him in my comments, I want you to do this. Don't just stay there. Don't just defend him. I want you to go out in that street and I want you to go act the ass and see what's going to happen to you. You take your black ass out there and you act like him and see, since you want to support him so much, right? You go do the same shit and see if the same thing going to happen to you. I bet it won't. Your ass going to be locked in there and they ain't going to let you out. And you're going to be stuck with all them demons. And you're going to be stuck with all those prisoners. And you're going to get fucked over and over and over again. Okay? And you would deserve it I lost my train of thought. I got so many angles I can attack this at. And so it's like sometimes I get tongue twisted because of it, but yeah, it's been about 20. I spent too much time on this clown anyway. I mean, he's just a serpent. He's a gay demon that's just trying to cause more black people to be away from God, to be gay. And because he knows God hated the devil knows God hates it, and this is why why the devil is promoting gayness at an all-time high, right? And a lot of y'all are falling for it. Y'all falling for that trick, And this is why I'm here to try to open your minds. If y'all can just stop being in your feelings and really just open your ears and open your minds and really think for yourselves. Like, hey, just listen to the whole video. Just listen to me. And just have an open mind, have an open heart and say, hey, you know what? You'll realize, hey, this dude got a point. Everything that I speak from facts. I can pull facts from the Bible. I can pull facts from Google. All you have to do is go down to the hood yourself. If you go down to the hood yourself, you will see exactly what I'm saying. There's black men going to jail left and right down there all day, every day. You don't believe me? Go down there. I lived down there for most of my life. I almost went to jail so many times myself. But the thing is, I've never was like one of those guys that did illegal stuff. I never did illegal stuff. I made sure I was clean because I knew cops was always looking for something on me. I knew that. So, if you don't have no idea what you're talking about, please don't get in my comments. I'd rather get no comments than to get a bunch of bullshit comments. I know people are just reaching for shit that they really shouldn't be reaching for. You just want to make a point on the internet. No, I live this. This is beyond making points. This is about really changing our culture. This is about really changing people for the better. This is really about doing better for our generations to come. Because if not, our generation is going to be fucked up. Our kids are going to be fucked up. Generations of just generation after generation of curses upon our people will be put upon if we.
I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end.